Hello and welcome to Smith and Vixen. Welcome to the den and let's get started. Today we'll be reading a few scary stories and I hope you guys all enjoy. Thank you so much. The welcome packet for my new job worries me. All my life I want to teach. I just knew teaching and working with kids was my calling. I struggled through life's many roadblocks and did what I had to graduate with my degree and certification. I finally got accepted into a position at a private school. I've been waiting for this my whole life, but the welcome packet has me a little worried. Welcome to St. Benedict's Academy. We are so honored to have you join our staff, and we look forward to having an amazing school year. Below are some rules and guidelines to help ensure a smooth, successful transition into a new year. The building opens at 5 a.m. and children are woken up and fed between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. We ask that our watchers report to the main hall at 4 a.m. if you do not live on campus. And for those who live in the dorms, please follow the individual schedules in your rooms as to when to report to your assigned dorms to begin morning duties. Teachers, we ask that you be in your classrooms at 6 a.m. sharp, no earlier or later than. You may arrive at school beforehand and look around the grounds if you wish, but do not roam after 6 a.m. Your students will be walked down by their assigned watcher at 6:32 a.m. Lunch is from 11 to 12 for lower level students and 12 to 1:15 for upper level students. You are prohibited from leaving the grounds for lunch. Your classroom assigned watcher will arrive approximately at 10:57 or 11:57 to take your students to lunch. Once the last student leaves, you are to lock your door and draw your blinds over your windows. Do not under any circumstances leave your classroom. You may bring your own food, but we highly suggest you leave any foods containing meat at home. You were given a tour when you received your acceptance letter/phone call. You will notice that our school has 4 levels divided by grade level and subject. There is no basement, there are no 5th floor. Should you use the stairs or elevator and find yourself on a floor titled such, please follow these directions. Basement. You are given a red flashlight in your welcome package. Use this now and aim it not lower than shoulder height. No matter what you see, feel, or hear, keep your eyes in front of you at all times. You will hit one bend in the hallway in which you may lower your eyes briefly to avoid falling. However, do not do this longer than 5 seconds. You are given what looked like a utility knife and a bottle of holy water as well. Keep these where they are easily accessible. You will walk down this hallway for 15 minutes after the bend and you will notice the lighting change. Once you pass by the first window you see, it is safe to put your flashlight and weapons away. Please report to Mistress Beauchamp immediately as well as our school nurse to document and be checked out. 5th floor. Should you find yourself on the 5th floor, sit down immediately with your back against the nearest wall to the elevator. Close your eyes, draw your legs up as close as you can, and hum. It helps if you have a device that plays music. Do this for a full minute, stand up, and return to the elevator. Report to Mistress Beauchamp and the school nurse. You will be quarantined for the remainder of that day. Teachers are not to go near the dorms and living areas under any circumstances. New watchers will need to adhere to the buddy system until the students are used to you. Please make sure to sign the waivers in your packet or you will not be able to work until they are completed. Here at St. Benny's, our students are our pride and joy, and we do as much as we can to keep them happy and safe so that they may grow to their fullest potential. After all, our number one rule here is don't forget to smile. Have fun, and let's make this school year one to remember. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Bourdain. White glowing eyes. The following experience is a very true experience. I've never actually wrote this down before, and I don't know if anyone has experienced this too. This happened between 1989 and 1990, and I was about the age of 4 years old. To this day, I still get chills thinking about it, and I wonder if in some way unknown, it changed me. My parents had a house in the Inland Empire of Southern California, and at the time, my brother hadn't been born yet, so I was still the only child. To give you a layout, my parents' house was a 2-story house located in a cul-de-sac. On the bottom floor, there were 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and the living room and the kitchen. The second floor was just a master bedroom and bath. All you can see from the street was the garage and one of the bedroom windows on the bottom floor, and the window of my mom's bathroom on the second floor. To get to the front door, you had to walk around the cement pathway that ran along the side of the house. You had to pass the first bedroom that you see from the street, and then you pass the bathroom window, and then another bedroom window, and then you would be at the front door. The backyard was beyond that point. My bedroom at the time was a bedroom next to the front door. Now, for some reason, my blinds weren't completely down to the bottom of the window. There was about a 6-inch gap with nothing covering it. I was pretty young, so I didn't really care much about it then. The bed was in the middle of the wall, across from my bedroom door, and to the left was the window. According to my mom, this all happened right before midnight. My mother was asleep in her room upstairs, and my dad was a policeman that worked nights in another city. I was fast asleep in my room, and out of nowhere, I suddenly awoke, looking up at the ceiling. I don't know what woke me up, or if I just popped awake on my own. After my eyes adjusted to the night's lights of my room, I sat up and started looking around my room. All of a sudden, something caught my eye at the window, in the gap. First, I thought it was the street light reflecting in the window, but I knew for a fact that there was only one street light, and what I was looking at was 2 obviously glowing spots that were spaced apart as if on someone's face. Then I thought, is that the cat looking at me? And yes, I vividly remember thinking these things, trying to debunk this at 4 years old. I had remembered then that my cat Chelsea's eyes would reflect at night, but this looked different than that. The cat's eyes would almost have different colors when reflecting. These are 2 very solid, bright, white, glowing eyes, looking straight at me. I just stared at them, frozen stiff, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. I couldn't see a face at all. The eyes were just so bright, nothing else stood out. That void or face around the eyes looked blacker than the night. I thought again, well, if this is a cat, how could a cat be big like a person? And why would a cat stand up to stare in my bedroom? The curiosity got me and I went for it. I flipped my covers off, turned my little 4-year-old body towards the window, and put my feet on the floor. This is the moment the creepiest thing happened, and it will forever be burned into my brain. I got off the bed and got on my knees to get closer look at this so-called cat. When at this very moment, this faceless pair of glowing white eyes begins to slowly and steadily tilt to the side, very similar to Michael Myers in Halloween. Eyes still locked on me, not blinking once. The feeling of dread and fear shot through my body. Completely terrified, I burst into tears immediately and booked it down the hallway, through the living room, and up the stairs to tell my mom. Although I was going so fast as I could, it felt like it took forever. When I got to my mom, I was so upset I couldn't get any words out. Tears were streaming down my face, and my mom was becoming seriously concerned at this point. She was able to calm me down just enough for me to get out the words, There is white eyes looking at me through my window, on the bottom. I started crying hard. Are you sure? My mom asked. I cried out, yes! She didn't even go down to look. She just called the police. I don't remember the time it took for them to arrive or what they said because I finally fell asleep in my mom's bed. I do remember faintly waking up to a knock on the door and my mom going to open it. The cop speaks to her, and I hear her say, okay, thank you, good night. And she shuts the door. Did they find it, Mommy? I asked, half asleep. No, honey. He said they couldn't find anyone, she told me softly. It's okay now. just try to go back to sleep. It's safe to say that the next day my whole window was covered. Years fast forward, and I'm in middle school now. Every now and then I would think about that night. Sometimes I wondered if that moment was real, if those eyes were really there, those unforgettable white eyes. One day, a random thought came up and I asked my mom if she remembered that night. She tells me, "Yes, of course, why?" "I don't know, just wondering, I guess," I said. Then my mom proceeds to say, "Well, I never told you this, but when the deputy came out that night, he told me they made it a priority to get out to our house as soon as they could, because not very long before I called 911, they received another call from someone else reporting that someone was looking in their window in our same neighborhood." Hearing that sent chills down my spine, and to this day I wonder who or what was looking at me that night. I would like to thank everyone for listening to technically my first video, and I hope you enjoyed. You will be able to find the stories linked down in the bottom, and thank you so much for listening. Have a good day. Bye.